Well, good evening, Jasmine. We're in Spring Garden Township, York County, at the intersections of Lancaster and Hillcroft Avenue. I just want to show you what's going on here. There's a tree down on this house. Just take a look. This giant tree is down on the house. I talked to the owner here. He didn't want to be on TV, but he did tell me he was standing near his front door, which we're showing you right now. He was standing by his front door, felt a rumble, and just thought he had to go down to the basement. So he went down to the basement. He's safe. He isn't hurt. His lights are back on here at his house. But take a look. There was a small little porch shed, a little roof over the front of the door. He has the gutters down, and then there is plenty of damage at the front here. And I'm just going to take you around this way. We're taking a look at this tree. This is a very, very tall tree. Just take a look at the root system here. Look at all that. And now the fire department was here earlier. The owner told me that this tree could still settle, but let's take a walk over to the other side here. Look at this root system. Look at how tall this is. This went down earlier tonight. Again, the owner is safe. The power is back on. There are some wires that are down here, but they have been turned off. But again, just take a look at this tree. Look how tall the root system is. This came down this evening, again, at the intersection of Lancaster and Hillcroft Avenue. We've been taking a look at this damage tonight, and this gentleman is just very lucky to be alive, thankful that he went down to his basement when he felt that rumble. But we'll continue to keep you guys updated here with the latest on the damage out here in York County. But for now, reporting live, I'm Karina Chung, CBS 21 News. Yes, Andrea, firefighters are still extremely busy. Now, I did talk to some of the neighbors in the area here, as well as some officials, to see if anyone was in the home at the time. Neighbors say that everyone made it out safely, but officials can neither confirm nor deny that. I'm going to give you a closer look of what's going on here behind me. It appears to be 3 row homes that are connected together. You can see multiple of the windows have already been broken. There's a lot of char. Firefighters are on the roof, and they actually went over to the back side of the home. They were sawing there earlier to continue fighting the fire here. There isn't a lot of smoke right now, but I can tell you when I was driving here and when I arrived on scene, I was in downtown Harrisburg, and smoke was just flooding the roadways all the way from downtown. Some people here told me they could even smell the smoke on the West Shore. Again, there are several departments here: Harrisburg, Steelton. I saw Swatara Township as well. They're working to get this fire under control. And again, firefighters are extremely busy at this time working this fire. We will catch up with them as soon as we can and give you an update on air and online. But for now, reporting live in Harrisburg, I'm Karina Chung, CBS 21 News.
Good evening to you, Rob and Jasmine. We just got a little closer to the scene a short time ago. Here, take a look at where we are. I'd say about a football field away. You see all those lights on that house and that tree. That is near where that helicopter went down at 8:45 tonight. 2 people died in that helicopter crash. We're along Iron Gate Court. That's where it meets with Mulberry Drive. That helicopter landed in this residential neighborhood. Debris spread across several yards. Nobody was hurt on the ground. We're told it's not clear where that helicopter was going or where it came from. Take a listen to a neighbor who heard that helicopter slam into the ground.
I kept saying if we could get there first, we could be, because I know CPR, maybe we could help.
And back here live, we're told this is not a medical helicopter. We are waiting for more information, learn exactly what that helicopter is, what purpose it was serving, and who was on board. We're told both the FAA and the NTSB are on their way. The NTSB, we're told, they're coming from Allentown. They were just going through Pottstown the last time we heard. We are waiting for an update. We were told by the public information officer that he's going to be having an update around 11 o'clock, so we're going to be keeping an eye out for him. But you can see a very active scene here still in Silver Spring Township. That's where we're live tonight. We're going to have updates all throughout this newscast. Live in Cumberland County, I'm Brendan Kinney, CBS 21 News.
Rob and Jasmine, we're going to give you a peek inside this store. It actually looks what it looked like back a month ago. There's still dresses hanging up everywhere. The lights are on. It just looks like it's closed for the night. Now, many of these brides thought, oh my gosh, my dress is just going to be locked inside this store forever. But one former employee is making sure that these brides get their gowns. Seamstress Lala is hard at work, altering wedding gowns as fast as she can.
And here is another dress. You same.
Lala was employed
same
by
dress,
Alfred
like-
Angelo, who filed for bankruptcy last month, shut its doors, and left brides without gowns and workers without jobs. Lala says she knew something was up when they told her to stop scheduling fittings with brides.
I just guess something gonna happen, and I just take all of my dresses with me that last 2-3 weeks, and I didn't left any dress there.
When the store shut down abruptly, she had the gowns, but her brides had no clue. That's when she began calling them.
A couple of my customers even cried, and she says, Lala, can you send my dresses picture? I can't believe that.
Rebecca Gear was one of those brides.
I was like, could not believe it. It just was such a whirlwind day.
Now Lala is working around the clock to finish the dresses from her home.
She no longer has her, her little office that she was working out of. She doesn't have her sewing machine anymore, so she's literally just working out of her basement.
While Lala is altering these dresses for the brides, she's doing it all free of charge. In fact, she tells us the last time she received a check from Alfred Angelo was in June, and to date, she's owed more than $12,000 for her work.
She could have just said, I'm not getting paid for this, and I'm just going to try to find another job, and these brides can come get their dress if they want, but I'm not doing the work. But she didn't.
Lala says she's interviewed with a new bridal salon, but promises to finish these dresses for her clients first.
I would like to make everybody happy. Their big day and special wedding day.
Now, Lala tells us she worked at both the Lancaster location and the Harrisburg location here in Lower Paxton Township. She says one of her sewing machines is actually still locked inside of the Lancaster location, and she's fighting to get it back right now. She also says she hasn't heard back from all of the brides whose gowns she actually has at her home. So if you know of anyone that may be missing their Alfred Angelo gown, she says to contact them. Her info is on our website, cbs21.com. Live in Lower Paxton Township tonight, Erica Such, CBS 21 News.
Understanding the intricacies and nuances of fire.
Fire is not an easy thing to understand. You really have to be educated in the sciences and then the specifics of how fire behaves.
These behaviors are studied thoroughly at the ATS Fire Science Lab in Beltsville, Maryland. Inside this facility, agents and trainees burn different items, from couches to houses, in search of answers.
The test series that we run are usually in support of casework.
The casework often comes from agents working fire scenes like York's Weaver Organ and Piano Building. From there, they will build a hypothesis about how the fire started, bringing it to the lab in Beltsville to undergo scientific testing. If necessary, engineers will recreate the exact room or house, down to the placement of the furniture and the different type of rugs to burn inside the lab.
We are a tool to make sure that allows the CFIs to use science to basically back up their fire scene investigation.
The simulation allows agents to work backwards instead of investigating the fire after it starts. They've now tried to funnel all of the flames through the front door. This type of practice allowing them to figure out the cause and the origin of the fire, helping to possibly solve some of the most difficult cases.
Understanding how fires ignite, how flame spreads, how fire spreads through a compartment. And sometimes we can do that through computer fire modeling.
All of those computations in these scientific burns are monitored in this control room. Cameras watch the fire's progress and instruments measure the heat, energy, and gases. Each measurement helping agents to come to a conclusion.
Every test series that we run is unique, and we try to go into it with no preconceived notions.
Meaning the ATF Fire Science Lab has no skin in the game. The ultimate goal, proving or disproving a theory to help find the how and where the fire started.
At the end of the day, we don't care what the answer to that question is. We just want to make sure that the science that we use to answer that question is valid.
We haven't been sleeping for 9 years.
Nearly a decade of long days and late night thoughts. But for Josh and Sandy Greenberg, it's been worth every minute.
We didn't go away, and we're not going away.
For years, the couple struggled to get anyone to reinvestigate the death of their 27-year-old daughter, Ellen, an elementary school teacher living in Philadelphia with her fiancé.
The break we had in this whole thing.
Then just last month, a small victory. A Philadelphia judge ruled the couple could move forward with a lawsuit against the city's medical examiner in an attempt to get her official cause of death removed from the record.
There's a murderer out there, a killer, somebody who brutally attacked somebody with multiple stab wounds and let her bleed to death and left her for dead.
Though that's not how the city sees it. Instead, investigators concluded Ellen stabbed herself 20 times in her kitchen.
That's how deep that went in relation to the spinal cord.
But the Greenbergs and their attorney, Joe Pedraza, believe the evidence overwhelmingly defies suicide.
Some of the wounds are virtually impossible to be self-inflicted, and certainly at least 2 of the wounds from behind are so devastating as to render Ellen incapable of defending herself, and likely could have been by themselves sufficient to kill her.
Pedraza says those 2 wounds, as shown in this technology called photogrammetry, are to the back of the neck and would have rendered Ellen paralyzed. He plans to use this diagram as evidence when the case heads to trial.
What we have done is we have literally transposed all of Ellen's dimensions, from height, weight, everything, and each of the wounds that she has sustained, from their exact length, exact depth, and exact angle of entry with the weapon.
The medical examiner originally ruled Ellen's death a homicide. However, Pedraza says it was later changed to suicide at the request of the Philadelphia Police Department, a move that's puzzled many experts.
The determination of manner of death is left to the medical experts, not left to the police department. And that's what really is very, very disturbing about this case.
The Greenbergs can't understand why the ruling was switched.
We just don't understand. What we think is they should be leading us, not blocking us.
And why experts disagree over what happened.
The first solid, semi-solid, I'm going to say actually, was Cyril Weck's report.
Wecht, a forensic pathologist who famously argued the one-bullet theory in JFK's assassination, opinioned Ellen's death is strongly suspicious of homicide. During our conversation, Josh recounted Wecht's analysis.
How to identify suicide from homicide? Women don't use knives. Women don't stab themselves through their clothing.
The couple hopes a jury takes a close look at the evidence and reaches the same conclusion.
As tragic and as horrible and as violent as the situation was, there's so much love and support from everywhere. And it really helps give us strength. And make no mistake about it, we didn't go away and we're not going away.
Rob and Jasmine, take a look at some of the damage here in this community. The pool filled with lawn chairs and debris. Houses, dozens of them, boarded up. Their roofs, like the one there in the distance, covered in tarps, and countless trees toppled over or split into 2. The National Weather Service confirming this afternoon an EF2 tornado touchdown here in this part of Berks County last night. It was a sense of cleaning up and boarding up here in Canaveral Township, Berks County this afternoon. But most importantly, neighbors helping neighbors.
Hi, we're from Lowe's. We just want to drop off some supplies for you and everything, okay?
Thank you
no
so
problem.
much.
Michelle Kyle is the community HOA president. When you walked out and you saw what happened, what went through your mind?
My community, to help my community.
The National Weather Service says an EF2 tornado touched down here Tuesday night around 6.
There was glass up, all the way up. They just pulled it out. So the glass, there was pieces of glass all the way stuck into the wall, impaled into the wall.
Kevin Farrell just got home from work and captured the moment the storm arrived. In it, you can hear the sheer second the winds change, sending debris flying through the air.
So I tried to get back in the house. The door was against me. So I had to push in. I came in, the windows were flying out, all the glass.
This is what he and his wife's bedroom looks like now. Farrell says the destruction in real time was unlike anything he expected to see.
I come into the bedroom here, I open the door, and this, they put a board up there now, but you could literally drive a car through it. And all of the insulation, was in a funnel going up. Out there.
Some were more fortunate.
And my sister and I, our cars were across the street, so they're about the same. They're okay.
But others, like the couple that lives in this house, have a long road ahead. They say the tornado literally ripped off the entire back of their house, leaving debris strewn about the first floor.
Now, I'm told miraculously there were no injuries in this part in Berks County. Meanwhile, back here live, the cleanup continues tonight. It's still unclear how much damage was done in terms of cost. Live in Carnarvon Township, Berks County, I'm Brian Sheehan, CBS 21 News. In October of last year, Connie and Ray Bolzan uprooted their family from New Jersey and settled here in York County. We met them on 2 separate occasions over the course of the past 2.5 months.
We thought we were doing the right thing for Alex so that he can start making the progress that the area of New Jersey we were living in didn't afford him.
It was Connie's idea to move here, but she says that idea and ultimate decision turned their lives into a living hell.
An absolute nightmare, the worst decision, the worst thought I ever presented to my family.
That's because the Bolzans fear Alex won't be with them for much longer.
York County Children and Youth have found that we are child abusers before there's even a final outcome of anything, and they have put us on the Pennsylvania State Registry now.
What are you doing there?
This is Alex.
Good.
Alex was diagnosed with autism when he was about 27 months old.
Now 16, he also suffers from a long and well-documented list of medical conditions. Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
Good. The Bolzans have been under investigation by York County Children and Youth since February. Alex had been at a local hospital for about a month and a half at that point. He was weak, couldn't walk, and wasn't appearing to gain weight, even though he had a feeding tube.
And I just kept saying, well, where's the diagnosis? What are we doing? He's laying here in bed. I could do this at home, let him lay in bed.
Connie says the hospital couldn't come up with a concrete diagnosis, but her mother's instinct told her something else was going on, so she called in a second opinion.
We asked to see specialists for our son just to get an opinion, because now we're like, we still don't have an answer what's going on. And I was presented with a behavior agreement.
A behavior agreement is a form that if Connie signed would give the hospital control over Alex's treatment plan. But she didn't sign the form and says that's when she thinks someone made that initial call to Children and Youth Services.
You take your child in for health care and they turn things around, and next thing you know, you're being investigated.
This is out of it's Children Youth Services. Right. I have a paper here for Alexander.
Connie captured the moment the county constable served them with the papers weeks after the investigation got underway.
We were charged with, someone phoned in, malnutrition and medical neglect.
They enlisted the help of local attorney Alina Ducharme.
CYS has basically said, we don't agree with your choice to take the child to a second doctor, and we should now get involved to make those decisions for you.
The Bolzans say they also learned there was a possibility Alex could be placed into foster care. That realization was too much for Connie to bear.
He would never survive. He would give up the will to live. I would give up the will to live.
In April, the couple was ordered to appear before a judge for the first part of their dependency hearing.
From my perspective, it didn't go as well for CYS as they anticipated. I thought we left that hearing with some confidence that this hearing would go, that this dependency proceeding would go well for my clients.
It's scheduled to continue later this summer. But just days after the first hearing, the Bolzans were met with a major setback.
Tonight, yeah, it's a gold out, all proceeds. They're raising money for mini-thon, we like that. Fourth quarter action, McDevitt down 3. Here is Antoine Bird, nice drive, high off the glass, 60-59. Here comes Township's Lamar Lester. Coming inside, getting it. Oh, he got the foul as well. 62-59, 3.2 seconds to go, and McDevitt's down 2. Ben Marsico with the inbound. That's Jake Kelly with the shot. No. Marsico, yes, it's good. We're going overtime. Tied at 64. Go crazy, everybody. So, in overtime, up 2 already. Here comes Makai Jones with the 3. Indians get off to the lead there and hold it. They lost last time to McDevitt. This meant a lot to them. Number 1, Lower Dolphin and the girls. First round of the playoffs. Here's a nice kick in by Jamie Swartz, but it's off the crossbar. They would need that one. Solenko's Alana Yoder making the save right here, barely. Anna Duncan. Okay, it's good to go. And here we go. Golden Mules off the free kick. It goes inside. There's a save, another save, but oh no, Sammy Jackson on the scramble puts in the goal. First goal of the game, but would it be the last? One more chance. Kylie Byers, no. And that means Solenko, time to celebrate. 1-0, their first district playoff win ever.
You know, for us, I've never felt this in my coaching experience, and just amazing. So I lost my voice. I can't even talk.
Well, I'm beyond happy. Like, I don't even know how to put it in words. We're the underdogs, and we came and got it. That was our goal.
Let's check out these cold guys that would feel warm soon. In Manheim Township, they're undefeated going into this one. In the 4th, all tied at 14. That is Township's, yes, Harrison Kirk finding Anthony Ivy there right at you 65 yards later. Blue Streaks up 21-14. Under a minute to play. Need this one. And they get it. Yep, that's Max Mosey to Nick Chimini with 3-yard touchdown pass. Let's go to overtime. Here in OT, Timmy Smith rams one up the middle, 28-21. Now as Manheim Township needs to score, it's Kirk to Jaden Floyd. He busts his way in. We're going to double overtime. This time, once again, Kirk to Floyd. It always works. He's in the end zone. Extra points? No good. That means CD needs to score and get the extra point. Well, the score part is right here. Timmy Floyd up the middle. How about that extra point? Zach Pomeroy, it's on you. The lefty knocks it through for the victory. 35-34. Wow. Coach, how did you do it?
There's a lot of differences in these last 9 weeks. For the journey that our kids have been on, you know, it hasn't been a straight line path. It hasn't been all rainbows and sunshine, but our kids have definitely taken every piece of adversity that's come their way and allowed it to make them stronger.
We're playing Millersville at Shippensburg, PSAC quarterfinals. Second half action, Millersville's Kari Williams with the drive, gets a step, yeah. Ship up 7, and then it ships Lamar Talley, looking from deep right here. Ba-ba-bang, 52-42. Late in the second half, Marauders trying to make a comeback. Here's Caden Najdawi coming inside, spin move, but he actually hit the guy, so they took that. And then coming back the other way, it's Millersville one more time. Brandon Craig gets within 23 seconds left. They would actually be down 3. Be smart, the coach says. No fouls, just hopefully that doesn't go in. It does not. Nice try by Millersville. They lose by 3.
It's very exciting, but you know that's what we expect because we work hard from day one to get to this point where we're at.
It feels great. I'm really happy for these guys to have this opportunity, and it's going to be a challenge. The best teams are left, but they got to come here.
Fourth quarter, McDevitt's Antoine Bird coming in. Dropped and blocked by David Kamwanga. He'd have a big game. McDevitt's Kenyon Elliott says, okay, I got to get inside. We're tied at 53 after that leaner. Seconds to go. Kamwanga trying to be the hero. He's got a long one. He's going to shoot it, and it's no good. Overtime we go. Get a drink, coach. It's going to be a long one. Down 2. McDevitt coming inside again. Nice leaner. Jake Kelly ties it at 59. One more time for Kamwanga. He loses on the way up, gets it off, and it goes at the buzzer. 61-59. Hugs and tackles all around.
Oh my gosh, I can't explain it. I was just happy because we worked so hard for that, like tears, sweat, and all that. So that was just like, that was a beautiful feeling.
How did it feel to be tackled by your teammates? I mean,
that was hard. I'm bleeding right now because I got two football players over me, on top of me. That was painful.
And we said today, our big thing was, you know, who has the biggest heart is going to win this game, and these guys battled through, and it feels awesome.
170. Yeah, Dallas Town's Hunter Schweitzer ready to go as the whole team is. He's looking to get the pinfall against Xavier Cushman. Bam, got it. Wildcats up 10-6. Over to 182 is Springford's Jason Lepore getting the pinfall over Jordan Brabham. So that makes it 12-10. The Rams are now up. So we're going to go to 113, tied at 2. Dallas Town's Zach Lickenbaugh getting a little takedown action here, getting some points. He win by decision. And Dallas Town goes on for the victory, the first time they've ever got this far. Coach.
We've been to
Saturday, but we've never made it to the semifinals. So it's a pretty neat thing for the kids, exciting thing to be part of, and I'm really happy for them. And well, I feel not much pressure next round for us. You know, probably wrestling the best team in the field, I would say, Nazareth.
Are you superstitious? I mean, I'm wearing a lucky tie, shoes, and socks right now. Worked for me, but here's the head coach of Trinity who found this on his way to the game tonight. Let's see if it worked for him. They're called the Shamrocks, after all. How much luck do you need? Let's go to the game right now. District final against Palmyra, third quarter. Oh, Palmyra's Alec Richard with the steal, with the goal. And Palmyra's up 9-6. We go to the fourth. Jake Herman finds Alec Richard right there for the goal. 10-7, but Trinity down 3 there. Only down 1 late. It's Daniel Scott looking for the tie, and he finds the twine right there. 10-10, let's go to overtime. That's where it's Trinity's William Throp behind the net, working his way through, looking for something out front, doesn't have it, weaves his way inside, and he puts it in, but does it count? Wait for the goals, and you got it. The referee says they did it. How'd you do it? And what about that lucky charm, Coach?
You know, I found, this is crazy, but I found a penny with the head up in front of our bench before the game. It's in my pocket right now.
The defender was hedging a little bit, so I decided to spin, and I wasn't sure of my footing. And I got around, and I just tried to get the shot off as fast as possible before I was in the crease. And I got it, and I fell, and ref came running over, saw his hands go up, and after that, just best feeling ever.